Today, we are going to talk about Avalaunch. Now, Avalaunch is a very interesting launchpad that I've been dying to cover for a while now. And why that is, how to participate, and where the investment opportunities really are. We're going to get into that in this video. I'm going to try and give you guys as much value as possible, go over everything that is important, everything that you really need to know to get started, and discuss the potential that this launchpad has. Now, if you are interested in it, let's get comfortable, and I hope to see you guys in a bit after the intro. All right, you guys, stay tuned. Okay, so Avalaunch, why am I so bullish on this, and why are we covering it today? Well, it all starts with the chain that it builds upon. This launchpad runs on the Avalaunch AVAX chain, and it is a huge chain that has gained a lot of traction over the past couple of months. Despite the bear market, the chain has been performing particularly well, and more projects on this chain are popping up every day. Launchpads that provide cross-chain seem to be providing Avalaunch more and more, and it seems to be taking over everywhere you look. So this Avalaunch is actually one of the biggest players within the Avalaunch blockchain. So it is definitely one of the top choices that you are going to if you are interested to invest in early crypto projects on the AVAX chain. So you can see that it's currently going for $30, and it is currently bigger than Polygon as well, as the 12th largest cryptocurrency by market cap. Now, that promises a lot for projects on this chain, but what about this launchpad? Well, before anything else, we're going to look at the tiered system to see how much you have to pay and what you will get for it. It's the most important part, but if you do feel like you should see something else first, use the timestamps below. You can skip anywhere you like, whether that is the roadmap, the team, the LinkedIn, social media, whatever it is. All right, but let's get started with the tiers. So, unlike other launchpads, Avalaunch does not actually have a tiered system. You will already get a guaranteed allocation with as little as $1, with as little as one token, which is little as just one token, which is absolutely insane, right? We are seeing tiered systems everywhere, right? That is just the norm. That is just what we are used to. And what this does, this new system, right, where you just have one token staked, and that should already be enough to get an allocation. What it does is it lowers the barrier for entry. People from lower GDP countries, investors, will be able to invest as well, which is great for a lot of people. Now, what it also does, and I should reiterate on this, one token will not give you any meaningful allocation whatsoever, right? You won't be able to do anything with a one token allocation. So that is why we actually have this list over here that portrays how much tokens you will need to get a meaningful allocation. The first one is at 100 and the highest one is at 50,000. Now, keep in mind, these are indications, right? You can stake more, you can stake less, you can stake in between, but it does look like the writer of this article wants you to round it up. So don't buy 105 tokens, but buy 100 instead. What that is, I am not sure, but I am very much thinking that the system that will calculate your eventual allocation mostly looks at the amount that you stake by 100s. So 100, 200, 300, 400. Having 105, it may be round up to 100. I'm not sure on that, but that is my current theory. So I would personally stick to one of these amounts, and then you should be good to go. They say here, at the time of writing, the AVAX token is worth £52. The price of Xava token is 4.54. So this was clearly a while ago, as the tokens, both tokens are worth a lot less by now. But that is, that's absolutely fine. It doesn't change the fundamentals of this launchpad. Okay, so that is the tiered system. Now, with that out of the way, let's actually move over on the website and see what they say on the website, how they market themselves. After that, we are going to move over to the projects. But this is actually still very important because how they market themselves is important, and we might actually find out what other utilities the token has. There has to be a reason why this token has such a high price. There must be a lot of utility and a lot of demand for this token. So let's dive into that. We see here the Avalaunch protocol. Where the fundraising space is broken, we've come a long way, but we can do better. Today's decentralized platforms are slow, confusing, expensive, and isolate both new and experienced investors. Participation is restricted to a selected few, and technical issues seem to be the norm, rather than exception. Blockchain innovations are accelerating faster every day. It's time for fundraising to catch up. And here they have 4 simple steps to get started. Sign up with the KYC, verify your wallet, stake Xava, and register for sale. So what they're trying to do is, like I said before, lower the barrier of entry and make it basically easier and more simple to get started with a launchpad. Buy the tokens, stake, choose the IDO, participate, and do the KYC. And that is how simple, in my opinion, it should be. It shouldn't be much harder than that. So I like the whole concept and I like what they stand for. And may I add, I really like the UX UI design that has been used in this, just a website in general. Over here, we have sales, staking, airdrops, and statistics. If you click on sales, you will see here all of the completed sales, which I suppose is not very relevant for right now. We'll get to that in a bit. What is more interesting is the staking. Of course, you will need to stake your tokens after you buy it. You will have allocation staking, and this is a very simple interface. Here you can type in the amount of Xava that you would like to stake. Obviously, you'll have to connect your wallet. And here you can also withdraw if you want to, and then you can just go ahead and get it done. The total value that is locked right now is more than 10 million, and the current Xava price is 61 cents. Here you will have all of your information once you have locked your token, and you will also have your history over there. Now, over time, of course, you will get rewards, you will get returns on your staked tokens, but more importantly, you will be getting access to allocations. Here you see Xava tokens staked over time. This is how many tokens have been staked over time. Look at this. It has actually gone up over the past year despite the bear market. So that is a very good sign. And that is all for the staking, guys. It's really simple. You go to allocation staking. You can do it here. They also do have a Xava competition. In the Xava staking competition, you'll be able to compete with staking versus other stakers, essentially. The Xava staking competition winners will receive additional max allocation in the upcoming IDO. So that is cool, a little extra thing here. And then you also have Xava locking, and you can click here on a subscription, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. You'll get a 1.3 multiplier on Xava locked with the 3-month bronze tier. The 6 months you will get a 1.5, and the 12 months will give you a 2 multiplier on Xava locked, access to special airdrops, and access to golden IDOs. So these are the 3 different ways how you can stake and the 3 different utilities that you staking can grant you. Then over to the airdrops. We can see that Avalaunch does airdrops. It's quite common, and it essentially means that all of the holders of the token have a chance of randomly getting rewards, also called airdrops. So we're going to look into this, see exactly what it is and what the odds are of you actually getting one of these. So the airdrops, you can see here number of airdrops, 23. Total airdropped is already at 4.5 million. Total airdropped ATH and average ROI is 30.74. So that's quite a lot. You can connect your wallet, look at the projects. And that's basically it. Here you see, actually, I also have the network stats, which is very interesting. You will be able to find the successful sales, how much is raised, and everything in between. Look at this. Total raised per project. You can actually see per project how much was raised. And here you can see the number of registrations per project. So clearly you can see a trend here. Some projects have less registrations and less raised. Other projects people were a lot more bullish on or were launched in more bullish times and got a lot more traction. Okay, but enough about all of the rest that the website has to offer. Let's get actually into the Launchpad and everything that we can do over there. Now, over here we find the Launchpad. We see here the completed sales. I am wondering a little bit where the active sales are. I'm not sure they have any. Otherwise, it would have probably been listed over here. So no active sales. That is fine. We see here Snake City, Snail Trail, Dragon Crypto Gaming, Meta Derby, Boldy Point, Lost Roads. We see here Thief Guild, DJs, and Dexalot. So that is 369 current completed sales listed on the website. If we click on any of the projects, we will come to a certain page with extra information. We see here the first familiar and fun P2E snaking game on Avalaunch. And here we can exactly see how much has been sold, how much has been burned, and when the sale ended. We can see here the price was 0.02. Let's actually see if we can find Snake City on CoinMarketCap. Snake City, there it is. And the price is also public, which is very nice. So if we click on all, we can see here the all-time high at the TGE. And with that, we can kind of see if the people made profit. Now, why is it important if people before you made profit? Well, like I said before, the best indication of the future is the past. How did the projects perform over here? Did they perform well? Then it is a good indicator that their next projects might do so as well. So looking at this, we can see that the TGE price was 0.02. And we can see here that right off the bat, we can see that the project went below TGE price and it never went up to it, making sure that essentially no one from who participated in here could have possibly made profits unless they held on to their tokens and in the bull run, the price will go up higher, which a lot of people seem to think as the overall sentiment here seems to be quite bullish. I love this project. The game is lit, good NFT integration. That is among the things that are being said. It does look a little bit botted because there's absolutely nothing bearish and the comments seem a bit botty. But then again, I'm not going to say anything about that. The website itself looks a bit mediocre in my opinion. They talk here about the gameplay, the arena battle, and all that. I mean, it's not too bad. It's your average crypto game. Overall, the TGE though has not given great returns. And the tokenomics, well, they look quite all right actually. But this is just one of the projects, of course. We can look at many other examples such as Snail Trail. And let's see, this is called Slime, I believe. So let's try and find the Slime project. There you go, Snail Trail. And we can see that the current token is going for less than a cent. That's very cheap. And the TGE was at around 30 cents. So again, 0.66. And here TGE was 0.299. So TGE was a big success, but it was already diving below TGE price around here, which is just a couple days after launch, which is not good. Now, obviously, it depends how much TGE was released, right? Did they release 100% of TGE? Then big profits were made on the 5th, or even here on the 8th or the 9th. But in most launches, there will be a lockup period and you have to hold on to your tokens, and that would have meant big losses. So let's see if the vesting schedule is released in any way. I don't see any information about the vesting schedule, which is very unfortunate. Maybe if we go a little bit more down, here we see the token. Oh, there it is, vesting. So 25% was released at TGE, which might have been enough. Let's see. Depending on the profit, this is 30 cents. And the tokens were bought for 0.66. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a 4x or so. So maybe people could have already made their profits with just the 25% at TGE. After that, it was 12.5% monthly, which of course over here, the price was far below TGE. So I think it is hard to say that people made profits, apart from maybe some quick bucks at the TGE. We see here the number of registrations was 13.4, which was actually quite big, and it happened on May. So, okay, mostly IGOs. Let's see here what the Dragon Crypto Gaming is all about. It definitely looks a little bit more professional in that sense. So let's see if we can find the website. They don't actually give links, they just give like there we go. So your adventure begins the legend of Aurum Draconis. Okay, so this is a vintage RPG experience on the blockchain. Oh, look at this. The Legend of Aurum Draconis, a medieval fantasy RPG inspired play and earn adventure set in an evolving digital universe replete with mystery, magic, and danger. Apparently, you can just play the game with just connecting your wallet. Oh man, you can just play the game with just connecting your wallet. That is interesting. So you'll have to sign in and basically go through all of the steps, and then you should be able to go and play. Look at this. There we go. You have no character. Please buy one before being able to access locations. Okay. So far for the free-to-play things. So what is this? I'm just move around. You have no character, right? So nothing can be done without a character, which makes it not free-to-play whatsoever. So that is a bit misinformed on that end. Basically lied to in that sense. 25% TGE. So let's take a quick look at how that went. This was called DSAR. So moving over to DSAR, it's currently actually doing pretty well at 24 cents. Let's see how the TGE went. TGE, TGE was at 17. So actually profit right away. And after that, big spike over to 22. Now, again, if we look at the vesting schedule, we can see that 25 was already released at TGE. So if they didn't dump, they waited over here, big profits, right? And it never went below TGE price, meaning that even after the TGE release, all of the weekly vesting was all profitable. Here, another big spike, and they've stayed on it for a while. Someone says here, I like the chart. I noticed this one is the game currency and the other coin is because I see two of them. So let's see, this is the DSAR. Let's see if there are in fact two separate coins. We see Argenti and Aurum, and here for sale was the DSAR. Okay, that is a good to know. That was this one. So I suppose this one is the in-game currency then. Okay. So the overall projects on Avalaunch have been pretty okay, especially considering that we are in a bear market, right? In a bull run, every project does amazing. In a bear market, it's a little bit more difficult. I have been bullish on some of the projects, obviously not all of them. Then again, it is not a Launchpad's responsibility to only and exclusively provide high quality projects. They should obviously not put trash on their website, but in the end, it's up to the investor himself to realize what projects he wants and he should invest in. So that is also important to note. Over here, however, on CryptoRank, we can see much more information on how it's performing overall. 130 people have it on their watch list, and it ranks quite high at 690. Again, we see a 62-cent price, which is a 11% increase, which is pretty good as well. Here we again see the chart with the big push in the middle, and after the bear market hit, it basically went down again to roughly where it started. And let's see, here's the Xava USD price change. We see here quite some changes moving around. Again, of course, the Avalaunch ecosystem. Here we see all of their social media. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Before we do, however, go to their Twitter, we first have to take a look at Snowtrace to see all of the holders and what's going on with the addresses. So what we can see right away is that there are quite a lot of holders. 38,000 holders, indicating right away that this is a pretty big launchpad. More than that though, it also indicates that there's a lot of people that see the utility of the token and decide to hold the token instead of selling it. There's also a lot of transfers, more than 1.5 million transfers. You can see them happening every single minute, which is quite impressive as well. Then over here, we see a lot of big wallets. Obviously, these ones are all contracted. The rest, however, is not. So quite some big whales. Now, again, you do get that a lot, right? A launch pad that does not have any tiers is very susceptible to whales, right? Because they can just theoretically get infinite amount of tokens, stake those tokens, and have a ginormous allocation, right? There's no tiers limiting them from doing it, so the big whales have a lot to say in structures like this. Versus if you have much less money, you will not really be able to get a large part of the pie at all. So on one hand, it feels like a very inclusive type of system. On the other hand, it is not at all at the same time, which is quite interesting actually. Now, moving forward, we see here that if you move down, even over here at the past the top 100, we still see that the value in the wallets are several thousands. So it will take us all the way probably 250 to get to the wallets that have less than 1,000 US dollars in their wallet. So definitely some big holders and a lot of holders in general as well. Now, they have a lot of social media to go over. They have a Git book. But most importantly, of course, would be their tokenomics. So we're going to get into that first, and then we're going to move over to whatever we can find as their white paper, their social media, and their community. So first of all, the tokenomics, of course, we're seeing a 33% token sale, 5% liquidity, 9% for the advisors and the partners, and 32% for the ecosystem. Now, I am missing a lot on this tokenomics. I am missing the team, for instance. So I'm assuming that this must be somewhere else, right? Because this is just not completed whatsoever. No, I don't see it anywhere else. They have the token sale, the ecosystem, the foundation, the advisors, and the liquidity. So no partners are listed, partners are listed, but the team is not listed. So that is just very tricky. And over here, we do have the seed round and the private round. The seed round, approximately 14% of the supply was dedicated to our earliest supporters who provided seed capital and a willingness to stake their reputation in order for us to forge important alliances. Then we went over to the private round. Also, by the way, seed round, 14 million tokens for 0.02. And these people went crazy when the price of Avalaunch went up to $20. Private round, slightly larger allocation of XAVA was dedicated to the private rounds. Obviously, private rounds being the perfect balance for both business, company, and investor. So private rounds tend to be the largest ones, and the public ones are obviously mostly for marketing purposes and are much smaller. So here we see the vesting foundation with a 6-month cliff, 8.33% release monthly for 12 months. Ecosystem 2-week cliff, advisory with a 6-month cliff. And again, the teams are not listed over here in the vesting. Then here they have their conclusion. We look forward to our launch and very much appreciate the interest and support we've been shown to date. We understand that there are crypto enthusiasts who appreciate very abbreviated versions of articles. So with you all in mind, they have much more stuff. Okay, very good. So very sophisticated articles. I don't really like the tokenomics. I didn't get everything out of it that I wanted to. But if we do click on their medium, we can see that they have nearly 8,000 followers, which is a lot for a medium. And they also post relatively frequently. We see here, this is the July 28th. That is less than a month ago, July 26, July 24, July 22. So a lot of it. We see here the Dragon Crypto AMA #2. And apparently they made a summary of the AMA here, which is amazing. Not everyone has access to very good internet. So watching an AMA could be difficult for some. And here they make it very easy and comprehensive in an article. And yeah, just overall a lot of articles about IDO updates, company updates, and much more. I've read through many of the articles and they're very high quality. They definitely do put a lot of time into it. The same can be said on their Twitter. This is of course Snake City, but let's actually move over to the Avalaunch Twitter. It's over here. And the first thing that I noticed is that they have nearly 120,000 followers. Again, big launchpad, big crowd. So that is good to see. The designs are amazing. They joined in February 2021. And as you can see here, their engagement is very, very big. They get anywhere between 50 to 1,000 likes per tweet, and they do tweet very frequently as well. Again, most of their stuff is just about their IDOs, company updates, giveaways, airdrops, etc. It's always kind of the same with any launchpad, right? Here, for instance, another tweet: we are proud to announce our support for BF Geostone, a game that will push past novelty and demonstrate that the potential of crypto gaming is being understood and implemented. So very good to see they are actually seeming to be prospering during this bear market, which is very, very respectable and also very unique. So overall, the Twitter looks very, very good as well. The projects thus far look amazing. And of course, the overall website is looking very good as well. So that is already everything about Avalaunch. It's a very simple and straightforward launchpad. Hence, there is not that much to talk about, right? We have our white paper. Well, we actually don't have our white paper. That is the one thing that I have been missing. But we do have, our tokenomics. We have our social media. We have our Medium. We have our staking and our projects. And that is it. So it is very straightforward and simple, which I like. You also see it reflected in the UI UX. Just very simple, plain, appealing UX UI with a low bar of entry, making it a great investment opportunity, mostly for beginner investors that maybe don't have that much money. Anyways, guys, that was all from me. So thank you so much for watching and joining me again. Hopefully this video brought you the value it was supposed to give. If not, and you still have questions, move over to our Discord. We're 5,000 strong, and we would love to answer your questions. Move over to the comments if you just want to talk to me. That's also good. And with that out of the way, thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Ciao, ciao.